Cornwall's long expanse of rocky, virtually uninhabited coast, with very few revenue men to patrol it, was ideal for smuggling. The goods brought in included tea, brandy, gin, rum and tobacco. By contrast with their poverty-stricken existence, smuggling brought fantastic wealth for peasant and landowner alike. So many of the harbours and coves that we visit today were once hotbeds of smugglers. Polperro's small harbour is usually crowded with fishing boats. But it's not so long since the village's commerce was of another kind. Under cover of night, brandy casks and tobacco bales, smuggled in from the continent, were carried into their hideouts. Wagon loads of contraband left here, some heading across Bodmin Moor en route to London. Initially, smuggling took place fairly openly, with cargoes landed directly on the shore. This was made possible by the involvement of all sections of the community, from the local landowner downwards. The Killigrew family who established Falmouth was one family whose money and influence came from smuggling and piracy. Prussia Cove is known for the 18th century shipwrecker and smuggler John Carter, known as the King of Prussia. So prolific were his activities in and around this picturesque cove that eventually the only way that he could be stopped was the building of a row of cottages and permanent stationing of coastguards there. The cottages can still be seen today. If you go ashore here by tender, there are two great pubs a mile or so along the coast path that are definitely worth a visit. Head west and you'll find the Victoria Inn in the village of Perranuthnoe. Head east and it's a similar distance to the Sandbar on Prey Sands Beach. The wild coast of West Cornwall, with its caves and coves, was a particular favourite of smugglers, and it's a great place to explore. Mousehole is the most westerly of the Mounts Bay smuggling villages. The tiny harbour is usually crammed with small local fishing boats on running moorings. If you want to visit, it's best to anchor off and take the dinghy in. It wasn't just the customs men smugglers needed to keep a careful eye on. These rocky outcrops can still catch out unwary boat owners. Just west of Mousehole, Tatterdoo Lighthouse warns of a particularly nasty rock lurking just below the surface. One of my favourite anchorages is off the storm-beaten stone quay at Lamorna. A short walk up the wooded valley is the local pub. Its name is a reminder of the heyday of smuggling, the wink being the sign that contraband was available. Mullion Cove, at the east of Mounts Bay, and the wild surrounding coastline were also regular landing places for contraband. It's another of my favourite overnight anchorages. Sitting on board, at the end of a day's boating, a small glass of wine in hand, you can almost feel the ghosts of those smugglers rowing their casks of French brandy ashore. Holidaymakers enjoying the coves of the Lizard Peninsula rarely realise that they are walking in the footsteps of those early free traders.